June 2020, a young and successful Bollywood actor tragically took his own life, leaving the entire country in shock. Suddenly, conversations about mental health and importance of human connections were everywhere, in the media and in our homes. Social media platforms were inundated with promises to lend a shoulder to cry on and to be all ears whenever needed. We promised to check in more often, to be kind, to never let anyone around us feel alone in their darkest moment. It was a collective moment of realization that we all need to hold each other a little closer. Few days later, in the same month, June 2020, TikTok was banned in India by the government for security reasons. A lot of content creators lost their platform overnight. And this loss was celebrated. The mockery was harsh. People said they were relieved from watching what they claimed to be cringe content. And some of these trollers were the same people who were preaching kindness just few days ago. And some of the most popular creators at that time, particularly for this app, were teenagers and young adults barely in their early 20s. Now, why does this bother me? Because up until this incident, I was told, and I used to truly believe, that haters and trollers, these are anonymous people, faceless individuals hiding behind their screens. But here, I could see real people, real, genuine profiles. I knew few of them. My friends and my colleagues joining in on the mockery. It was a stark, unsettling contrast. The champions of empathy were now cheerleaders of cruelty. How did we go from a moment of shared compassion to one of collective cruelty in such a short span of time? Both were trending. We didn't use our brains or let our hearts guide us. We were blindly following the trends. Why do I call this illogical? Because TikTok was never a mandatory app. It's not your national identity proof. There's no compulsion to download it. Even if you didn't like it, delete it. Out of sight, out of mind, simple, logical. A recent example of this relentless hate is the trolling of a lead actress in a major series. If you don't like a particular series, don't watch it. Leave it midway. You have plenty other options to choose from. If you don't like particularly how this actor is performing or the way she looks, just say that. Critiquing someone's work is one thing, but tearing down their humanity publicly on online platforms like this is something completely different. People spend their precious time and money in watching something they claim to despise, then torture themselves further by sitting through the entire series and then spend more time and energy in hating and trolling. Illogical. Again, the most heartbreaking part of this was recognizing people behind the hate. These weren't faceless trolls. Genuine people, real profiles. And some of them were actors too. People who went over the limit did so because, again, it was trending. Instant gratification in the form of likes, shares, subscribes, comments, and even offline praises from our friends and families. They drown away our logic. Sometimes we are a part of these trends because it makes us feel legitimate, that the world holds us in regard. And sometimes, if we don't use logic, this can drive us to tear others down. Why is there so much hate? Especially this illogical hate. Question yourself, can some random dancing videos, whether they are good, bad, ugly, cringe, on any platform, can they bother you this much? Or an actor not performing up to the mark, how much impact can it have on your life that you feel the need to go online and troll them? Or is it? Is it because our need for validation is fed by tearing others down? It makes us feel superior. Or is it because we feel that these online trends, these are so powerful and blinding that we fail to see these subjects, the people whom we are mocking, as humans enough, with same feelings and emotions as you and me? Or is it because we are trying to hide our own shortcomings? Often, hatred and trolling, it's nothing more than the projection of our own shortcomings and frustrations. It's easier to lash out on others than to deal with our own issues. Now imagine this dust as hatred that settles over everything. Everything that we see, that we think. Initially, it's not noticeable. Maybe a speck here, a smudge there. A comment here, a sarcastic reel there. But as time passes, this dust accumulates. It clouds our vision and blurs our perception, so much so that we forget the line between criticism and between humiliation, between fun and trolling. Imagine you're sitting inside a house and the windowsill is covered with a layer of dust. It blocks our view to the outside world. All we can see is dirt and crime. Similarly, this hatred, this dust, it becomes so ingrained in our daily lives that we become blind to our own actions. Consider the case of a brilliant girl who topped her exams. Instead of celebrating her success, she was mocked. Why? She had facial hair. People's insecurity and prejudices overshadowed her achievements. Sadly, she expressed, it would have been better if she would have ranked second instead of coming first. Maybe, just maybe, people might have not noticed her. This isn't just illogical hate. We are losing sight to our own humanity. But just as we can dust our homes to get rid of this dirt, we can dust this hatred and anger that accumulates within us on everyday basis by keeping in mind few steps. First, common sense. Don't let it slip away so easily. Just because everybody around you is being illogical, you don't need to be one. Break your echo chambers. Understand your online feed is your own search history presented back to you by the algorithm. It's like living with a yes man in your pocket. Living in a bubble that reinforces your own beliefs, making you mistake your narrow reality as the entire truth. Even offline, your friends and families, they can act as echo chambers, repeating the same ideas and prejudices. You need to break out of them. Otherwise, you will feel your actions are unquestionably right. Follow people who challenge your beliefs. Be open to different ideas and perspectives. Be open to the idea that you might not always be right. It will help you stay grounded in reality and see the bigger picture. Recently, I had a discussion with a friend. She's an actor. She made few videos mocking other actors for their poor performance in certain films. I asked her, why do you choose to mock her? She said, clearly very hurt and defensive. This isn't trolling. This is just for fun. She found it absurd that I could even hold such dumb opinions. She told me not to be so overly positive. According to her, this was not trolling because she wasn't commenting on their post or sending them direct hate messages. Being called a troll was shocking for her because within her ecosystem, nobody has ever questioned her that. In fact, everybody In her, that echo chamber, they believed that this was genuine fun without understanding the deeper impact. That is why it's important to step out of these echo chambers so that you can see that your actions are not just always a bit of fun. They leave a deeper impact. Choose your battles wisely. Not everything around you deserves your time and energy. There are several problems around us that genuinely need our voices. The problems that need to be amplified. We should focus on them rather than these things. The way you communicate is another crucial aspect. It's not only about the kind of words that you're using, it's about the impact that you will be leaving behind. The easiest way to keep yourself in check is by asking yourself, the people I'm about to mock, would they find it funny too? Or will they feel humiliated? If you think they'll laugh, then go ahead, maybe it's harmless. But if you feel even a twinge of doubt, then please stop. Reconsider. Imagine that if that person was a family friend, what will you do? Will you feel that it is okay to tear them down for a laugh? Please. Please don't let these online trends and these jokes make you lose your sense of decency, making you believe that your cruelty is comedy. It is not comedy till the time everyone involved in it can laugh. And lastly, and in my opinion, the most important thing is maintain your integrity. It's your shield against illogical hate. Don't stoop down to the level of these hate mongers and trollers. Stay true to your values and your principles. In all the personal stories and observations that I have just shared, the common thread is how hate can cloud our logic. It can make us bitter and blind to our own actions. I'm not saying that you don't voice your opinion and you stay silent. Please don't do that. It's your right, it's your power. Use it, but wisely. It's this journey from dust to destiny. It's not about staying quiet. It's about self-awareness, about empathy, about deliberate actions. Not about pretending that these emotions don't exist. They do. We feel them on an everyday basis. Hate and anger are powerful emotions. They have the power to change great things. But we have to use them wisely. It's up to us how we will use them and how we will keep ourselves in check. We should use them not as blinders, but as tools for growth. These are double-edged swords. It's up to you. Will you use them to tear others down and call it fun? Or will you use them to ask the hard questions that can truly change our world? Will you let these emotions fuel your hard work and drive? Or will you use them to cover up your own shortcomings? The choice is yours. Remember, you have the power not only to change your own destiny, but the world around you. So choose wisely. Thank you so much for your time. And please remember, in the face of illogical hate, please lead with integrity. Maintain empathy. Together we can create a world where logic and love guides our actions. Thank you.